right, here is the video review for the Biklonz Cross Attacker. This is the new set in the Biklonz line. If you remember, we did Infinity recently, and Infinity originally released as either 5 individual robots, 2 of the combiner, stacked on top of each other, 2 combiner figures, and then Ursa. So you get them in 5 boxes, 3 boxes, or like I did, you can get them all 5 in one giant box set. This is Direwolf and Sabretooth. They come together in one box. They may feature in a box set down the line, because these guys, on top of what we're going to see here in the video, do actually form the arms for a new 5-robot combiner, along with a mammoth, an extinct bird. It's like an Archivalis or something like that. Somebody showed it to me, and I can't remember the name, but it's not an Archaeopteryx. I know what that is. But there's a mammoth, a bird, and a Megaloceros, which is the giant stag, as well as the Direwolf and Sabretooth, so kind of some extinct animal combiner. But there will be another 5 one. These 2 form a guy. The mammoth, the bird, and the stag all form a smaller combiner, and then these 2 guys can become the arms and combine with that combiner to make another big 5 combiner thing. These, if you transform these into arm mode, you can use them on Infinity, but I'm going to wait to show that off until we have at least the bird, because I believe the bird is the one that comes with a fist. These guys don't have the built-in fists that for the combiner that Infinity did, that the fists actually end up plugging in here where the tails plug in arm mode. So since there's no fists to even really show off the arm, I'm not going to combine them to Infinity yet. When we get the other 3 and do the big combiner reviews, I'll show them off as attached to Infinity as arms. Now, one of the big changes this time around, one, these guys are kind of like Leo, but a little bigger. They've got the same aesthetic, but they're a little bigger in size individually than Leo as a lion, a tigress, whatever. No, tigress is a Pharaohcon. But they do have the little cockpits for the pilots. Although this time around, the pilots are actually molded in, and it looks like from the pictures on the box, these are new mechs for the main characters. So maybe they figured, since you already had the little individual figures with the first set, they weren't going to mess with this. But yeah, he's got a cockpit right there. Direwolf, you kind of have to open up his head to get to it. But they do have little opening cockpits with pilots in them, but the pilots are not single figures. They're just molded inside the cockpit in one color plastic. So yeah, and also overall, they have a little bit more articulation in their alt modes, here in their animal modes, than the other ones did. Their mouths open. You can kind of move Sabretooth's tusks around if you want to give them like straight out spiky teeth. But they've got a little range of motion this way. The legs move individually. They've also got a hinge both here and here on the arm, and the paws have articulation too. So they're a little bit more jointed than the first wave of figures, as well as the back legs. You got the joint up here, you've got the joint here at the orange bit, joint here back on the leg, and the paws do move, although the outer piece that forms part of the foot is kind of fixed in place. You can fold that back around to the back, but then it just looks weird. So yeah. And the tails, of course, are articulated as well. And same on Direwolf. He's got the same level of articulation with the shoulders up here on the front, in and out. The dual hinges here at the middle of the leg, the paw. Same thing on the back. They're different, slightly different designs, and you'll see why. But their articulation remains the same between the 2 of them. Now these guys combine, and we'll go ahead and we'll start off with Direwolf here. And the first thing you want to do is pull the tail out, and that's going to form a sword here. And then these pieces, you want to bring them up, rotate them, straighten them out like this, and then bring them all the way down straight, fold these pieces around the foot all the way out. There we go. And snap this whole piece together. And there you've got a foot. Rotate that, or unsnap the whole body from right here where this blue piece is. Unsnap that and bring it down, and then lift up the blue piece to unsnap it. You want to do it in that order, and when going back, you want to make sure to have this leg positioned up, snap the blue piece on, and then snap it up into the body, because otherwise, if you snap the blue piece in first and you don't have this positioned right, you kind of have to push that tab past the clear blue plastic clip in there. And while the clips have been fairly sturdy so far, it is clear plastic, translucent plastic, and I wouldn't want to risk snapping that clip with this. So do make sure that when going to either unclip this first when going to alt mode, and then peg this in first when going up into wolf mode. So yeah, bring that down, rotate the leg around, fold that back down as a hip panel. Come up here. You want to take this, extend the whole head out like that. You can see it extends on a little red post there. This piece slides out. The whole assembly here comes down. Fold these, fold the paws up around like that, and bring them so that O1 is here in relation to the torso piece. And once you've done that, make sure that stays all the way down. Fold those all the way up. And then you can see the translucent blue pieces in there, right here. You collapse those in, like that. And then bring, you can kind of see there's the torso and arm, bring the whole thing down. Set that off to the side. Oh, before you do that, also open up his mouth here. You need to push up here. There we go. Open that up, and then flip his fist out. Open the pull all the way. Flip his robot fist out. You can even open the hand there. And Sabretooth is exactly the same. Pull the tail off. Bring these pieces down and around. Nope. Open up the feet. Clip them together. So it all snaps together. Bring the whole assembly, unpeg it from the body first. Lift up the hip plate, rotate the foot around to the front, bring it down, fold the hip plate down, bend it, come out here, extend the head, extend the shoulder pad, bring this down, extend his teeth straight out like that, kind of like I was joking about earlier, but for robot mode you want to do that. Open his mouth, flip out his fist, open his fist, bring these around, kind of fold this down, fold them up. And again, he's got some actual clear plastic pieces in here. And then snap those in like that. And now these guys are going to combine. Now, they look like, your kind of typical symmetrical docker, but he is called the cross attacker for a reason, and that's because they actually combine in an X. So the red Sabretooth forms the upper right chest and the lower left hip and body, and Direwolf does vice versa. So you take this, and you can see there's a clip in here, and then a post right here on Direwolf. And now Direwolf has some electronics in it. They will make some noise, and the electronics are here in Direwolf. Oh, and before we do that, you want to flip this gray panel up, just like that. But then you just take them, and just like an X, you need to, there we go. Bring it down, snap those two body halves together like that. Clip the lower half together, and then clip the upper half together, which automatically pops his head up. And he'll say that. And then you just rotate, I'm standing up here and we'll get up to his head. So he comes out looking like that, and then rotate his head to the front, and there you have cross attacker in his combined mode, which is really cool. Like I said, it's kind of a cross docking, but I like the way it does it as an X. And he looks cool. He's got the helmet. He's got one orangish eye and one blue eye on his head, even though the entire head is actually on Sabretooth. He's got the claw weapon here on this hand. You can use the Sabretooth claw for. And his weapons, I thought this might be a gun at first, a kind of curvy gun, but I guess it's just supposed to be like a truncheon or something, because you can't get him to hold it as a gun like this. He does have to kind of hold it like this. So he's got a couple different weapons, and you can hold them in either hand. You can have blue hold the red and red hold the blue. But you got this little kind of truncheon and a sword that he can hold like that. You can combine them. You can take the blue sword and attach it to the end of the red piece, maybe like this. I don't know. No. Okay. It looks a little awkward, but you can combine them as a weapon, although it does make it a little harder for him to hold it. It'll stay there, but again, it looks kind of droopy and weird. So you can do that, or the way it combines into the back, you take this, fold this across like that, and on his back, it plugs in right here onto his back, and then the saber has a peg right here that pegs into behind that. So it kind of gives him like a little X pattern on his back. It reminds me vaguely of animated Jetfire and Jetstorm, the way this works. You can see, and then the weapons kind of sit up on his back, and you can position those however you feel you want them to be. Although it seems to keep wanting to flip off on the side. Here, let me stand this up a little bit. He also comes with this little disc, which has run away from me apparently. 1 second. He comes with this little Attacker Biklonz disc, which works in on the packaging. It shows it. I don't think it shows in the instruction. He does come with an instruction manual, but it works with whatever their little power-up device thing is. This is the Attacker disc, and but it can store right back here on this red wheel on the back. You just clip it on, and it can rotate. It doesn't matter how you clip it on. It just sits there on his back like that. It doesn't seem to do anything in robot mode, but just a place to store it while until when you're not using it in the thing. So yeah, the robot itself, it's not super articulated, but it is much more articulated than the first wave of combiners. He's got joints here at the shoulder. You can move him here at the kind of at the bicep-ish. His head, his hands do rotate down here. You've got the finger articulation as well. And same on this arm. Head rotates. Fingers, you can slide it in or out. His head does turn from side to side. And then at the hips, this is where it gets cool. There's no waist swivel, obviously, because of how he combines. But you've got some in and out ratchets there at the thigh. He does have a thigh swivel. And then because of the way the legs form, he's actually got a lot more posability in his legs. Now, he can't bend his front toes, but the rear paws do fold up, so you can get him in some supported poses by flipping those rear paws down. Looks like he's about to go tackle a linebacker or something. Raw. So yeah, a lot more articulation in this guy. It's not, like I said, it's not a full-on super articulated figure, but after the limited posability of the first wave, it's kind of nice to see. And just a real quick size comparison with the other mechs. Again, I'm not pulling out the full Infinity here. We'll compare those when I've got more of the mechs to combine. But you'll see like his cross combination is actually much larger than the others. So here's Cross Attacker, and here he is with I think that one's Hurricane. That one's Arrow. And this is Hurricane. Let's see if we can't get him. You see he's much bigger than them, all things considered. And here he is with Ursa. And again, Ursa, I think, is still overall a little bit more massive, but you can see Cross Attacker is actually taller. So he's not an insubstantial mech. So, yeah, like I said, you can use him as arms on Infinity. There he is with the other 4 robots. He just looks really cool. I just love the reds and oranges and blues and grays and the way they cross combine like that. But so yeah, so there's the wave, all the Biklonz figures to date. I do plan on getting the next 3 so we can make another big combiner out of them. Like I said, Cross Attacker may be my favorite Biklonz figure to date, and I'm already digging the Infinity guys. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of his team, because that's a really nice, fun. The combination's fun, and it's just a fun little toy. Real quick before we go, this little translucent blue piece over here, since this is on Direwolf, does activate the sounds. Blade. It has just some mechanical noises. And there you go. I think that's cycled through all the noises he makes. So yeah, if you've been interested in picking these up, this guy's definitely worth it. Like I said, I do like the Infinity Combiner. I like those first wave of 5. They're fun. They have definitely come back strong with the next series of figures. This guy is really pretty cool. So there is the Biklonz Cross Attacker from Young Toys. It's a Korean cartoon. You can watch it on their YouTube channel. And again, I will put a link to their YouTube channel if I remember it. Let's see. Well, here's the video. Let's say we're going to move this over to here. I'll put a link to the Young Toys channel right here about where I'm pointing. Click on that, and you can go watch some of the Biklonz cartoon over there. Cross Attacker.